go further into Acts chapter 14 and verse 26. This is the end of their missionary journey. They go back to their sending church, the church of Antioch in Syria, and here is what 26 says. And from there they sailed back to Antioch, where they had been commended to the grace of God for the work that they had fulfilled. And when they arrived and gathered the church together, they declared all that God had done with them and how he had opened a door of faith to the Gentiles, and they remained no little time with the disciples. Where a church funds and supports and ordains and sends out one of their numbers, it is then to that church, the story's not over yet, it is to that church that the missionary remains accountable as their sending body, as their sending elders and membership. Church is so essential to the task of missions, and this is something almost entirely forgotten in modern and postmodern missionary movements and tasks. So this is the first part argued for in our definition of missions today, which is that it is the task of the local church to send people into less reached nations to preach the gospel, plant churches, train disciples in all righteousness until all the families of the earth give glory to God. So let's go to the second part, which is this, that it is the task of the local church to send people into less reached or unreached nations or areas. It is the task of the local church to send people into less reached nations. That is that we should be aiming every single local church, no matter how small, no matter how new, no matter how old, no matter how poor, should be asking God for the faith and the resources to not just send money, not just send things, but send people, Spirit-filled people into one of the areas, nations, and groups around the globe that do not yet have an overwhelming Christian influence in their midst. It is our task to think, plan, and pray about how to send people. Every local church ought to be trying to send missionaries into these much needed areas to embody the Christian life and speak Christian truth. Things that funding and simple resources like books cannot do. They cannot do an embodiment of the Christian family, an embodiment of the Christian lifestyle through the lived out example in the missionary. That is why people are so important to send.